Yo guys, welcome back to another CCN podcast. We're going to be finding some smoke about reselling in 2024. People do say reselling is dead, but to be honest, I think it's absolutely thriving. We've had an insane amount of drops, especially this week alone. We'll start straight off the bat this morning. We had a drop for Dell. Do you want to talk us through that, Alex?
Oh mate, unbelievable. Where do we even start? So, obviously Sav posted, we had the pre-sale yesterday.
Mike, you need to put your mic up a little bit.
Go on, Karen.
With like a cut.
No, just cut it in.
You'll cut it in.
Right, well, this morning, yesterday even, we had the Sav with the pre-sale for Adele. You need to sign up on, I think it was Adele's website, and you got a code for like a pre-sale. Go on, at 4 PM I think it was yesterday. Log in, get as many events up as you can, and then just try and get many tickets.
That's correct. And we also had the general sale today, was it?
General sale this morning at 11, I believe it was, or 12, yeah.
And we obviously tried going for this. We wasn't very successful, but we had a call with Sav, who's our ticket specialist in CCN. He copped, was it 12 tickets, I think he said?
So you got 4 yesterday in the pre-sale and 8 this morning.
Yeah. I think one thing's worth noting is like how it works with like ticket reselling. Pre-sale is obviously the easiest way to like get your tickets. So, when we post stuff out in CCN, Sav will post, this ticket's dropping on this date, register for the pre-sale here. We post tons of pre-sales out, even if we might not necessarily go to the drop closer to the time. We'll obviously tell you like whether you should go for it, what we're estimating the resale prices to be. But obviously Sav posted out the Adele pre-sale, so everyone registered for the event. And then basically what happens is when it gets close to the date, Adele, basically in Adele's case, the Adele website just emails you saying, you've got a pre-sale code. You then basically can just jump on Ticketmaster the day before the general sale, usually, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You can jump on there and, you've got much higher chance of getting the tickets on this day. But then obviously we had the general release today for the people who didn't register for the pre-sale. So everyone was going for that, even if they went for the pre-sale as well. And yeah, the Adele tickets, they're doing better than we initially anticipated. We're looking at like £200 profit plus at the moment. I know Sav's already sold a bunch of his tickets for £100 profit. Who was that guy posted in CCN? The CCN member, what did he post?
CCN member, so this morning, literally at like 12:05, he posted that he'd bought 2 tickets for, I think, $650 or something.
Yep.
And then half an hour later, he'd sold them on Viagogo for 1.5k. So what?
Insane.
£900 profit in less than half an hour. Yeah, he doesn't get the money till August after the event, but still, it was like £900 in half an hour. It's insane. Yeah,
well, that's one thing worth noting as well. So for like event tickets, 90% of like people listening to this are, like beginner, intermediate resellers of tickets, you're only going to get your money after the events actually happen. And I think people don't really know that about ticket reselling. Mm-hmm. You have to wait until the event date's gone past to get your money if you sell on these platforms like StubHub, Viagogo, places like that, which is where most people will start selling. And one thing is worth noting though, as you obviously become more of an experienced reseller, you can get into these like niche WhatsApp groups, and that's what Sav does most of the time. Sav's in tons and tons of WhatsApp groups where he can basically sell his tickets, right after the drop, get the money because he's a trusted guy, he's a reputable seller, he's got the contacts in the industry. And that's what happens when you go to that pro level. And Sav, fair play to the guy. I've never seen, have you ever seen him miss a ticket drop?
Never.
He always manages to get them. He knows all the tips and tricks. He shares that with all of us. And, all of us are like learning from Sav. And he's a great guy. One thing we have been thinking about doing, I was actually messaging him about before this, is we've been thinking about like doing like one-to-one mentoring with Sav. Yeah. So for people who do really want to get into ticket reselling, want to take it to the next level, want to learn, as fast as possible, want to invest in their own education more than what we provide in CCN. Granted in CCN, we give you all the basic and intermediate like information about, how to do it. But if you wanted that little one-on-one advice, we're thinking about dropping some one-to-ones, like mentorship. Sav, obviously this is a paid service because Sav time's incredibly valuable. But yeah, it's something that we've been thinking about.
Yeah. Because Sav, obviously, he goes above and beyond. Like, we'll see it in chats, like even on drop times, like he's in the chats helping people out. And we called him before. He was like, yeah, if you guys want any extra tips or anything like that, let us know. I'll help you. I was like, okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a given, like obviously doing like one-to-one call sessions, because you can only do so much on Discord and there's only so much you can help people out. But obviously like these one-to-one sessions just hopefully absolutely kill it for people.
Just being able to have someone there to just speak through and answer any questions rather than sending a message waiting for a reply and that. 'Cause sometimes you could be waiting a little bit and by the time it's gone.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, event tickets massively popping at the moment. If you're not already involved with them, I definitely recommend, you should be getting involved with them. To get the event tickets, you have to graduate in CCN if you're on the Discord server. And for people on the app as well, you need to get in the Discord server to get access to the event ticket reselling. But if you do get access to the Discord, then, you can get into the event section as well once you've graduated from the beginner role.
How similar would you say ticket reselling is compared to like product reselling or sneaker reselling?
I think with ticket reselling, there's just a few more variables to like play into account that you wouldn't necessarily like have to know about when like reselling items. And one thing we see in CCN is we tell people to read the guides, but nobody reads the guides. And I urge you to read the guides, because you'll get people buying tickets and then they're like, what, I can only get the money after the event's gone? Yes, if you'd have read what we tell you, you would know this. And we literally put it on every single post as well that we post out. But people still message saying, oh my God, I didn't know that I only get the money after, like blah, 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 blah. But we literally post it. It's all in the guides, which you should learn before you start getting involved in event ticket reselling. But then we also put it out on every post as well, just to remind people.
In terms of budget as well, obviously you need that high capital, don't you? Like, compared to products, you can buy products like, sometimes even Prime's like, what, £2, £50 for products. But tickets, you need maybe £70, £200 spare just to invest. Obviously have held up for months.
And even if we probably have drops every other week, I'd say. So if you're going £200 there, £200 there, as soon as you get to the level of Sav's at, you've just got money coming in every month that you can reinvest, and it just keeps rolling and rolling. This isn't the first big drop we've had. We had Taylor Swift last summer. I've made about £2,000 off that. Literally, I was on holiday. I remember I woke up early in the morning, it was like 10. Sat outside in the sun, copped them. I think I paid £500 for 2 tickets and then sold them. They were in Anfield, sold 2 for like 1.4k. So after fees, it was like £600, £700. And I'm like, I'm in the sun here, job done, laptop closed, back to holiday.
Holiday bloody paid for like
and you
that.
wasn't
That's
even in
nuts.
the UK?
No, I wasn't in the UK, I was on holiday. So I think I get paid out for that in July time this year. That'd be nice, but yeah.
And one thing I always think as well is like, with reselling, like, at the moment there's all these other side hustles going around. There's people talking about drop shipping, TikTok creator program, Amazon FBA, SMMA, Forex, all these things going around there. But people are forgetting about like one of these most simple side hustles that most people can do. And a lot of people are attracted to these other side hustles because of that influences in them spaces, you know, promoting this insane lifestyle. Like if you look at SMMA with Ayman Gadzi, you know, he flaunts this incredible life of, you know, like how it is. And that attracts people to it. But I think people forget the power of how basic reselling actually is and how risk-free it is at the same time. It's, you know, like if you buy an item, let's say, not necessarily with event tickets, but if you buy a normal item which can, you know, easily, just a general product reselling, sneakers, you know, collectibles, like incredibly highly demanded items like PS Portals, these can all be returned usually within, you know, 2 weeks to a month, and you can get your money back if you can't sell them. And I think people are just forgetting about reselling as a side hustle because of like people like Ayman Gadzi or whoever it may be promoting, you know, these other, you know, massive side hustles like drop shipping. You know, look at like Luke Belmar and people like that, Jordan Welch, you know, and people kind of like, they're attracted to these like luxurious lifestyles. But I think for most people just want a bit of extra cash. You just want 500 quid, a grand extra, and reselling can facilitate that with relative ease without having to put much more time in. And one thing I think is really important when people start, this might be the most important thing when starting a side hustle, is you need to get your wins early on. If you don't get a win, if you are doing something for a month straight, you're grinding out the extra hours doing something, and you don't actually see any money back in your bank account, you don't see it going anywhere, then you're going to give up. And that's what I love about reselling, is it allows you to get the win super early. So as soon as you get the dopamine hit, it's like, boom, yo, I'm going to carry on with this. And that's one of the most important things, I think, when starting a business. It's like, the discipline is hard to get at the start. You need to like, you just need to be like, if you're not necessarily that disciplined, then you need something that's going to bring you easy wins relatively early. And that's what I think, you know, reselling allows.
Because realistically, it doesn't even take long to start reselling. Like, you could potentially flip a product within 1 week, money back straight away. Easy. Whereas like drop shipping, obviously long lead time, creating the website, doing adverts, doing videos, getting the product in, all sorts. Obviously you got the long shipping time as well. Reselling, it's super simple. Even ticket reselling, it's not super complicated, is it?
Yeah, but bringing it back to that drop shipping point there, you know, think about it. So let's say you're going to start drop shipping. You know, you have to first find a product, you're scouring products for ages, then you make a website, then you do some ads, you have to make creatives, you have to put a bit of ad spend in if you're doing it that way. And then, you know, it might be 5 websites, 5 different products, 5 different websites before you get your first win. And 99% of people will quit before that's over. But the thing is with reselling, you know, you can get them wins really early. And I urge people who have, you know, been starting dropshipping or SMMA and they haven't got them wins yet. There'll be so many people listening to this who'll be thinking, this is my exact situation. I tried something for 2 weeks, a month, but I didn't get a win, so I quit. And if you're actually honest with yourself, then you will realize that, and then maybe think about trying something like reselling, something a bit easier, something that's not going to be able to make you 10k a month, something that's going to make you 500 quid, a grand, 2 grand. Like, you know, think about reselling. I think it's just so important, and I feel like that will really resonate with like a lot of people that like, you know, they'll have tried something and it won't have worked, but then think about going something a little bit basic. One thing I think is really important, like business, like principles, is when you're starting something off, you need to start something off really small, really simple, so you can get the wins in, and that motivates you to keep going, but it also keeps things simple because, you know, once you've got something that's semi-working, then you can start adding little bits more and, you know, keep adding more building blocks, which eventually make you more money and build your business. But the thing is, if you don't have the small working system that's actually making you some money, you're never going to be able to like build a massive business just by like day one. You can't start a £100 million business like on day one. You know what I mean? Like you need to build it up from like nothing. You just got to start really small.
Yeah. And obviously another point as well with dropshipping, you go out and find the products, the leads. Reselling, it's all given to you. Do you know what I mean? There's no product research. Yeah, you can learn these sort of skills and techniques later on the line, but realistically, we tell you what to buy, we tell you where to sell it. All you actually have to physically do is buy it and then resell it on different marketplaces.
100%. And I'll give you everyone's pain point to that, what you've just said. The people, when you say that, when we give you the information of what to buy, people are going to go, well, aren't you sending this to thousands of other people? And yes, we are sending it to a lot of people, but you've got to think that the reason that these products resell in the first place is because of supply and demand. There's a limited amount of supply, which firstly means that you're not going to get every single product, but if you keep going over a month, you know, if you go for 5 drops, you're going to get 1 or 2. You might get all 5. It just depends on the situation. But that is why it's possible, because the supply is less than the demand. That is why reselling works. It's basic business. If you do business studies in college or university or whatever, that's one of the most basic like business rules, and that is why it works. And that is my answer to people saying, oh, why would I do this? You're giving this out to thousands of people. But it doesn't matter, because that's supply and demand. That's how that system works.
And the world needs more resellers, like bottom line, because if everyone's buying one product and listing it for 2 times, 3 times the price, people can only buy that 3 times the price. So if not more like normal consumers, like these everyday Johns and, you know, Joannes, they're buying these products, they don't need to buy it off secondary markets. Whereas resellers come in, they buy the products, they can't buy it, bam, resale value. And that's where resellers make the money. So obviously people do complain, oh, resellers are buying all these, well, like, it's hard to get items. Yeah, but if you do get that item, you can make a lot more profit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what I love about CCN, because they're just reselling, like the word, it expands so much more to just what people think it is. Obviously, we've got shoes, there's product drops, there's ticket drops, there's so much more out there. And in CCN, obviously, we provide it all, £35 a month to have access to Adele this month. Mattel, like, which was last week, that was £200 profit. Sneaker drops this morning, which people cop from. It's just insane. You can make so much money.
And the community is good. The community is amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
You meet some really good people in there. Like, we know 16-year-olds who are reselling. We know 40-year-olds who are reselling full-time jobs. It doesn't matter. Everyone's there to make money. And that's why reselling's, like you said, it's amazing. It's good to see.
The chats are one of the biggest things as well, because everyone's there for the same reason, to make some money. So if you've got a question or you need to ask something, ask it in the chat. Someone else is probably going to know the answer. Jump in. Or if not, you've got the live chat. You can talk to us throughout the day, whenever.
100%. I think going on from there, then, we obviously rambled a little bit then about like dropshipping and all that other stuff, which I think is all very important points. But, you know, going on from there, like, what else is going on in like, the reselling world at the moment? What can you make your profit on? You know, we've obviously still got PlayStation portals going. And what are the stats on that at the moment, Alex? Like, what's it looking like?
So when they first started reselling, it must have been nearly over 2 months ago, 2-3 months ago now. They were at like £350 and retail was only £200. So £150 profit off each one you can buy.
They actually went up to £400 at one point, didn't they?
It was insane. And they ended up dropping down to about £250. And then Christmas time, they were back up to £300. And I think around now they've settled at £250. But I know I've got 6 or 7 sat at my house ready to sell. Just need to get them listed on Facebook and that. But there's members getting restocks to the phone, click it, buy it, sell it. And it's just £50 here and then. It's so easy.
And are you selling these mainly on eBay or Facebook?
Facebook, I do all my PlayStations on Facebook.
So no fees?
No fees, but because the demand's so high for them, you can list them and then within like an hour you can have a message and sell it that night.
Yeah.
And the cash is straight in your bank.
You know what I think is very interesting this time round with like PlayStation reselling is there hasn't been that much hate. You know, granted, there are thousands of resellers just like us, all going for all these drops every single time, just so we can make money off it. We're stopping the general public from getting these items just so we can make money on it. But I'm very surprised that there's been this little hate. Usually, last time when it was PlayStation 5s, everyone was going skits about it. But this time, we've not really seen any hate. And I think, if anything, that's been a good thing, because it's realistically allowed us to resell more, because no one's even having any like moral fucking thoughts about it, because no one's saying anything. We're not, you know, if people aren't telling us like, oh, you know, this is horrible, this is wrong, blah, 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 we're just going to keep going as hard as we can and keep making more money. And, you know, we've realistically not seen any hate.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little bit weird, but I think, for resellers, if we're getting no hate, we're just going to keep carrying on. It wouldn't stop us either way. We just keep reselling them either way. We keep making our money. Money's money at the end of the day. It's basic business. What do you think that, like, Curry's buying them for? Curry's not buying them for 200 quid. Curry's buying them for less than that. That's how business works. People buy them for less, but no one says to Curry's, oh, Curry's, you bloody scalping us. Because it's business. You don't have the tools and you don't have the tools, the knowledge, the equipment to buy these items when they come back in stock, because they're only in stock for a very short amount of time. And we do. And that is why we're making money from it, and that is why people can't get them at the end of the day. But I think it's just interesting how there's been that little hate on it this year round.
Probably because like resell's become like more, not normalized, but people are more aware to it. Like you see headlines like the Apple Vision Pros reselling. You see PS Portals, they've been in news countless times. The PS5s, the hot tubs. Reselling's become more. People are being aware to it. Like my parents know what reselling is.
More normalized now.
Everyone knows what it is, and it's just one of them.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how it's becoming much more normalized.
Yeah.
But I also think at the moment, like, if anything, less people are doing it at the moment than there has been in the last 4 years, which means it's a great opportunity to get involved, because it's like, even how we've seen, for example, like in the height of it, there's probably 20, 30 reselling groups in the UK, like pretty decent ones doing pretty well. But like we were speaking about before, the market is like, everyone's fucking jumped ship.
Yeah.
Everyone's abandoned it apart from us. And like there's one other big group as well. Everyone's abandoned it apart from us, and we're just keeping going. And we're seeing like, everything's going smoothly for us. Nothing's realistically changed.
Do you reckon it's because of like the markets and just like how resale markets actually is? Because there is quiet months, there's busy months. Do you reckon people are just going the quiet months then jumping ship? Because we've seen it with members where they come back.
I think the reason that a lot of people have changed over is because people aren't necessarily like, I feel like a lot of these businesses, they're quite small, quite young people who don't really have that much experience, and they're seeing these other opportunities, which granted, as everyone would, they're seeing these other statuses come around, they're just seeing fucking dollar signs. But what you're forgetting is most of these other people are all seeing dollar signs, and everyone's just running over there, and it hits that peak saturation. I think one thing that's very interesting that we've seen with CCN, and this is actually on like a general business note, is like, if the competition in the market, when we started CCN, there was no competition. It was realistically only us. Every other group was closed. No one could join it. And we just opened that up to the general public. And then after that, we just seen more and more people. And it kind of just went up like this until it hit the peak of the amount of other groups, doing this reselling. Mm-hmm. And then ever since then, it's just been a steady decline until we've got to this point now where I'd say it's just bloody plateaued. And I can't really see it getting less. I can't really see the market like losing more competition. Like, the other big group they're not going to drop off. It'd be silly for them to do. It's like, when there's only like realistically 2 big people left in the space, it'd be silly for the other person to jump off as well.
But also like with obviously other people creating these cut groups, these other groups that do reselling, it's bringing more people aware to actually reselling itself. So in a way it's kind of good because, if in them groups of cut groups, one group's better than the others and it's being talked about and blah, 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 people are going to jump ship to that other group. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And if they're advertising and then people are moving from them to others.
Yeah. Everyone's just moving around.
It doesn't really matter too much, does it? Like, it's just, just reselling. Like, people get involved either way.
But other than that, what else has been dropping? Obviously, we got the players' portals. We got a nice focus on them. Mattel, go on. Enlighten us, Alex.
Yeah, so we posted this about 2 days before the drop. I think it was like a Thursday at 4 p.m. Posted it on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. And it was £245 to buy. Estimated resale was about £550. So I'm like £300 off one drop. And people see that and they're like, oh, how true can it be? But then obviously drop came, I managed to cop. We had loads of members in Success who also copped. And £300, £300. You can go on eBay now and have a look at them.
What do they search? What should people search to find this out?
RLC exclusive Hot Wheels Treasure Hunt set, that's it. That's this one. But last year,
and this releases every year, doesn't it? Like
they
release a new version every year.
So me and Tino last year, we got one. RRP was higher last year, it was £300, but we sold ours for I think nearly 500 each.
Yeah, mine was like 480, I believe it was. I can't remember. It was just crazy, just Hot Wheels.
£150 profit each there, but even this year's bigger and better. Cheaper RRP and even higher resale price.
With Mattel as well, and we were talking about this the other day, but people don't realise what Mattel actually owns. Like, it's crazy, isn't it?
Huge.
Like, they own Barbie, they own absolutely all
I'll
sorts.
quickly take this back. So me and Tom was on about this the other day. So I thought, when I first heard about the website Mattel Creations, I thought Mattel was like a Brabus of Hot Wheels, or a Brabus of Hot Wheels and Barbie. Genuinely, this is how like naive I was to it at first. I thought they basically made like higher quality versions of like Hot Wheels, or like limited edition versions of Hot Wheels and Barbie Barbie dolls and other things like that. But it's actually not. It's just Mattel's own website. Mattel make Barbie. They make Hot Wheels. They make loads of other stuff. They make Uno as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Uno, yeah.
They make so much stuff, but this is a massive, massive, massive corporation. Probably one of the biggest like toys and games. Probably the biggest toys and games manufacturer in the world. And you can now understand why, you know, Mattel items resell, especially these limited edition ones. Why they resell is because, you know, Mattel is a huge brand. Think about how many people went and watched the Barbie movie. Insane box office mega hit, they stonked it out the park. But think about how many fans these like kind of like brands have, especially these subset brands of Mattel, how many fans they have. You know, granted, when they bring out a limited edition set, obviously people are going to resell it. Think about like Hot Wheels, for example. Hot Wheels is just like cars. Like even all of us here are into cars, right? When we see like a little sick Hot Wheels set from Mattel, we're like, oh, that is sick. And you can understand how many people like cars. Cars is probably one of the biggest hobbies and interests out there. You know what I mean? And like, you understand now why people actually want these limited edition ones, why people get behind this. There'll be so many people out there who have that little like niche thing that they like and, you know, they're really passionate about, and that's why people do pay these resale prices. It's just collectibles at the end of the day.
And even in store as well, like people hunt shell or start looking in the back and looking for boxes for these individual cars, the Hot Wheels ones. You'll see in America, like people pay like £100 for like these little cars. It's insane.
We've posted some of them. They were Smith's in store, and I think it was Tesco in store sometime last year. They were these cars, they were like £7 to buy, reselling at £20-30. I'm like, if you go into a shop, you get lucky there, you get a few of them, you're making bank. Making so much
literally.
money.
It's just a nice little side hustle, nice little extra cash, you know. The people out there thinking, and one thing I always think as well is like, it's a bit of a controversial topic, but like, imagine you're in your work and you want a 10k pay rise. Realistically, it's going to be quite hard to get a 10k pay rise, and you're going to have to work incredibly hard. You know, if you're going to have to work over hours, you're going to be pitching against other people. But if you just start a side hustle, you can just get your 10k pay rise right now. Anyone can get a 10k pay rise right now just by starting a side hustle. No matter what it is, you can go out there, you can start doing these little hustles, like going out and buying Hot Wheels cars, you know, going finding the niche ones and reselling them on eBay, buying sneakers that are highly demanded, reselling them on eBay, buying all these little niche things, and you can just go out there and get a 10k pay rise. And, you know, why wouldn't you? There's so many people out there. If you want a 10k pay rise, genuinely consider starting a side hustle, because you can do it today. You can put this in your hands right now. You don't have to wait around. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be. The ball doesn't have to be in anyone else's court. You can just literally go out there and do it right now.
But 10k pay rise is what, less than £200 a week throughout the year.
Yeah.
And that's easily doable. You've got sneakers probably. We had some pairs this morning. If you wanted to get two of them, there's £200. But then you've still got a Dell. You've still got £1,000 there. You've still got some more products.
You know what, 10k is actually so reserved, like you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
that's like bottom line. Like if you was trying to scale it up as well and like maybe investing into bots, which is a possibility, or you're going to have to multiply, getting your friends and family to buy items for you, you can make quite a lot. Like if you're going as well for the different dates, for different ticket releases, £200, £300 there per one, 10k is reserved. Like let's be realistic.
Let's say someone's making like £500 a month from reselling, £400, £500 a month from reselling. What advice would you give them to scale that up so they can be making 2k a month, 3k a month? What advice what would you say to them people to do?
So when I started, I used to just go for 1 or 2 on the drops. And the easiest way I found to scale up was literally just making multiple accounts on websites. So like when we had hot tubs and PlayStations, like on Amazon, for example, because you can just buy a portal, switch account, go back, buy another one, switch account, go back, buy another one. It's just about scaling up and buying as many as you can, just endless possibilities. Like sneakers, for example, you can make plenty of accounts there, enter them all. And this morning we had 15-minute window on Nike. Enter them all, swap account, enter them all, and just keep trying to scale it up and just try and get as many as you can. Obviously, you can use friends and families that you mentioned, but if you want to do it yourself, that's the easiest way I'd say. Just on the pings, have different accounts and just keep going and checking out and buying as many as you can.
100%. Like getting your brother or your dad or your mum or someone like that to also go for the drops for you to increase your chances. Get your girlfriend to go for the drops for you. You know, it's only going to take a couple minutes out of everyone's day. They can get a little bit of cash out of it. You get cash out of it. And at the end of the day, it's going to allow you to scale that up to make more money.
Yeah, because realistically, and not many people know this, but Amazon actually have like a little secret in place where they limit per account, so you can only buy one of the item. And people obviously on the drop might only have one account, which is understandable because no one has multiple Amazon accounts unless you're a reseller. But you need to create multiple Amazon accounts to get multiple products. If you're buying one PS Portal, that's £70. You're buying 3, so a lot more profit. You'd obviously take it for what, extra couple of minutes work.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Yeah.
An extra £140 profit for 2 minutes work.
Exactly. And
Absolutely insane, isn't it?
It's not impossible. Go on.
I was going to say what else have we had this week, but...
Well, I was going to say another sort of tip as well, like to obviously increase profit when reselling is go after everything. There's no point limit yourself. Like if you're only going for products, then you're only going to make profit on products. If you're going for sneakers, products, tickets, bam, 3 times your income. It's not super hard. Realistically, it's the same sort of concept. You're buying an item and then reselling it. Tickets, understandable, it's a tiny bit harder, but it's not impossible.
So to quickly interrupt, like, if you wanted to get into reselling and make some money, what would you guys recommend?
First things first, you'd want ideally an information platform that tells you what's dropping, how to buy it, how much to resell it for, where to resell it, because obviously that's the biggest question, like, I've got this item, how to resell it. I'd want a platform that tells me exactly what I need to do. Without any faff, I load the app, I look on it, and it says it all there, I can read it in a matter of seconds.
And that's where we come in, boys. That's what we do. Crep Chief Notify, you know what to do. Click the link in the bio and get signed up. You can download our app or off the App Store or get in our Discord, sign up via our website and get involved.
Yeah, there'll be a link in the description somewhere that you can sign up, become a member, start churning cash. But yeah, should just carry on with the podcast. Sorry to interrupt.
Big topic at the moment, Apple Vision Pros.
Oh,
Now these are taking over the world. Like we've seen Casey Neistat skateboarding in New York City. There was a viral video of the guy in a Tesla wearing an Apple Vision Pro and also got pulled over. But these are actually a reselling product we've got our eyes on because in America they sold out on the first day, I believe. And I think the retail price is like £6,000 and these retail for 3.5.
Yeah,
rough figures, I think they're dollars. And these are dropping in the UK later in the year, which we've got, monitors set up and stuff like that. So as soon as these drop, we're obviously going to evaluate the market and then bam, hop on them because these are going to start rapid in the UK.
Before they even dropped, they said about how low stock was. It was limited. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. It might have been 300,000 units.
Yeah, something mad, wasn't it?
Small. But I was like, as soon as that comes to the UK, if it has the same hype as it does now, granted it's the first gen, so obviously it's going to get better over time, but I reckon there's a bit of cash to be made on that one.
100%. And I think they're sick. I really want one. I could see the appeal to people wanting one. I think there's a massive appeal for people who who are just interested in the future and want to see it, know about the future. And I think that's a massive thing these days. And they do look really mad. It'd be interesting to see if they still resell. I imagine what'll be interesting is how the US market is. But you got to think when they're going to drop in the UK, they're probably going to drop all over Europe as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be massive demand there. One thing I did see on the Apple Vision Pros was I seen a TikTok and basically it was like this girl and she was like, and a TikTok was like talking about a boyfriend going to collect it. Like she went with a boyfriend to go collect it with him, and she basically said that he had one reserved for in March, mid-March or something like that, and he managed to catch a restock and get it earlier, get it to the same day in Feb somewhere else, because something must have happened. So they must be restocking because he had a delayed one, and he managed to get an earlier one, so he cancelled the delayed one and got an earlier one. So there's obviously going to be something happening with the restocks, whether it works the same over here. But that's one thing I saw that I think looks pretty promising. Because obviously there could be cash. What do you know what they're reselling for? Aren't they reselling for $5,000?
Yeah, it's something ridiculous. Yeah, $3,499 it is to buy.
Yeah, retail.
But like you said with the earlier slot to collect it, we had that with the iPhones. The new iPhone 15 that came out last September, we resold a few of them.
Yeah,
for about a month or so, you couldn't get them. Remember, the first day I was trying to get them, and then obviously sold out rapid. So we were just checking, just manually trying to get an earlier slot and managed to get some. So probably do that with the Vision Pros, but we've got a monitor all set up for it now. So
but
it'll be in store, won't it? Because it'll be like an in-store monitor. So it'll be like in the in-store channel in CCN. A bit like the IKEA monitors, the IKEA lamps that we're flipping at the moment as well.
Yeah. But I'd say checking trends is one of the best ways to find products that resell, because we've seen it countless times with. There was a really weird product in December where it was some football training thing.
Oh,
do you remember that? Retail for £50 was resale for £200, and basically it was just some training thing for kids. But it just for some reason it was sold out absolutely everywhere. We found that trend on eBay. I think someone submitted it to us for a flip finder. But we just found absolutely crazy items some teddy bear dolls as well. We've had in the past, and it's just one of the best ways to check trends and just see what's upcoming to resell.
Got Casio watches, Nike Jordan bags, air fryers. Everything.
Yeah, 100%. What Warhammer as well? What was crap with Warhammer? We've been making dough off Warhammer recently, haven't we?
Yeah, so just 2 weeks ago, there was a restock of a book which was £50 to buy, and resale was £300. It was a hard cop. Don't get me wrong, it was a hard cop. But still, it was like £250 profit off a £50 book. And as you said before, with just the fans, it's like people will go crazy for anything limited edition. Especially this is a sequel, so it was the third book in this whole set. We had it. The second book was in November or October last year.
I remember it.
We had that as well. We had plenty of success in that one.
Was it just a book?
Yeah, it's literally. I believe it's just a book to a sequel.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so,
yeah. Yeah, it did massive. I remember I did a story on that old one, on the one in November. It came out, and like you said, it was like 50 quid to buy or something. It was dead cheap to buy, and then it was reselling for like 250, 300 quid. Yeah. And everyone was like, no way. And there was so much success. I remember actually videoing the success channel in CCN and posting it on the Instagram, on the Crep Chief Notify Instagram story, saying like, just look at this. It was insane. The cash was bloody flowing on that one. And it's again, it's like, you know, there's all these different like collectible brands that keep reselling. But other than that, anything else that's hype? What are these new the Travis's?
Oh yeah, the shock drop.
So like, them weird ones. To be fair, there's a lot of Travis Scott's just like an icon for like resellers, because like anything he releases just resells. Like we've seen, we've got Smoke Coming Shoes releasing later on this year, but like there was a recent one that shock dropped online, and someone posted a screenshot on Instagram, and resale price is like £4,500.
Yeah, that was insane.
And it was crazy. It was just a shock drop.
What were they? What actual Nike shoe were they?
Honestly, mate, I've never seen that shoe before.
No.
It was weird, but
I've
it's
never
like a
seen
Jordan 1, but it's like
Yeah, I've
it's
never
like a
seen
low, but it's a bit high.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But retail was only $200.
Yeah.
Resale $2,500. I think I seen it. It was like ranging from $2,500 to like $4,000.
Yeah, that's
Insane. Imagine if you licked on that, man.
Yeah.
You copped on that. Woo,
Have you seen the ones that's releasing later on this year? The blue and yellow ones.
Can't say I have.
Nah.
Mate, so he come out last year. He come out last year saying that's the last Jordans releasing, but no more Jordans. And he released the Golfs, which you would have seen, which broke the internet. And he's just announced 2 more. So one is blue and yellow, and they're calling it like the little IKEA spec because like you wouldn't wear it normally because it's Travis Scott. It's gonna resell. So
even if it's only 300, 400 good profit though, it's still free money at the end of the day.
It's just, to be fair, that's quite good returns. That. But yeah, just a horrible shoe because it's Travis Scott. It's just going to resell. Some good colorways releasing as well. To be fair, there's quite a lot of shoes planned for this year. Jordan 4s, they're dying this year. Have you seen the amount of restocks and stuff that are rumoured for these?
Oh really? What, like the big ones like military blacks and stuff?
You would have seen, do you know the Lost and Found Jordan 1s?
Yeah.
So like they remake old pairs but modernise them and then like maybe throw in like, I don't know, an old receipt or something that looks old.
Yeah.
The remaking. Is it Reimagined Breads? I can't remember what it is.
I think so.
Reimagined Breads stock worldwide is 500,000. Now
Wow.
for a limited release, crazy, absolutely insane. But Travis Scott should probably get like 80,000 pairs, 70,000. But Jordan 4's Reimagined Breads, 500,000.
Would you not think because it's going to be like a bread, it's a very like appealing shoe?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like with the Lost and Founds.
Like a staple.
You know what? I'm sure Lost and Founds. I'm sure they had like 300k stock.
Yeah, they did.
They had insane stock, and me and you both got to pair of Lost and Founds, didn't we? I got to pair of Lost and Founds. I won them on a size raffle. Went down to the store, paid however much it was. I think it was like 170, 180 retail, weren't they? Then I took it to Kirsch Cakes. Took it to Kirsch Cakes. Flipped it for like 300 and some pound. Just literally 120, 140 pound profit in literally a 10-minute walk. And you did it as well. It was nuts, wasn't it? It was absolutely cash, mate.
Do you remember how we actually got them shoes?
Yeah.
Because that was crazy in itself, that.
Yeah. So basically how that worked was, so before the CCN, I had like a raffle bot. And basically there's a guy who used to work for me called Armitage. Shout out to Armitage. This guy is an OG sneaker reselling goat. He's been in this game for time. He lives in Romania. You know what's mad thing about, listen to this. This is another mad story, right? I'll get on to the raffle story. But in Romania, resellers in Romania can buy shoes online, like Panda Dunks, anything like that, and you basically pay when the shoe gets to your door. So the guy rolls up DPD in Romania, it's not DPD, but like the mailman rolls up, lad, and you pay cash at your bloody doorstep for the shoes, mate. How nuts is that? So there's another guy who works for us at CCN, shout out to Alex, he basically was massively like doing like Panda Dunks when he was reselling for like a good amount of money in massive bulk, and he would basically get the guy to roll up to his door, and he would literally roll up with 30, 40 pairs of Panda Dunks, and he would pay the mailman cash at the door. How nuts is that?
So wait, how's that? So like, when they're buying the shoe online,
Yeah, you don't pay.
no payment details.
No pay.
It's crazy that.
So then you pay on the doorstep. That is 100% true.
Could not imagine that in the UK.
How mad is that?
Could not imagine that.
But then like why wouldn't it work in the UK? I don't know.
They just don't do it.
stopping
It's just over there. He explained to me, I can't remember what, he explained to me why it's like so popular. I think people don't necessarily like trust, what he said was, the reason they do it is because people don't trust the websites in Romania.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of scam websites and that. People don't trust the websites, so that's why they do it. So they order the shoes and they think like the money could just get taken and they couldn't get the money back or whatever. So they come and deliver it to your door and then you pay them at the door when you've got the shoes in hand. How mad is that?
So these stores are shipping these shoes out with no payments?
Yeah.
That's crazy in itself, that is
Nuts,
honestly
that,
bananas,
innit?
yeah. Because they must be like millions and millions of pounds in debt almost for shipping out shoes
Yeah.
on releases, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mad, and obviously you could refuse to pay at the door as well. So I'm sure I'm sure he was basically saying that like he would like pre-sell the shoes before they arrived
And get the money.
and then he'd get the money, and then he'd pay for them at the door. But then the ones he didn't want, he'd just be like, "Nah, I don't want them."
Mad.
And he made his own bot for this website, so they would restock, and the bot would just clean up because it didn't even have to check out like necessarily. Just put like the shipping details in, and boom. And in Romania, you know, obviously the sneaker reselling market, and especially the sneaker botting market in there isn't massive. You know, so he was the only person botting the site, and he was telling me he made insane amounts of money from it. But I think what happened was, I think the website's shut down now, but they still obviously do the cash and collection like all over Romania.
Maybe we should move Romania.
Just shows you
Mad
can
that,
resell
innit?
anywhere. I remember
Yeah.
I went to New York a year ago and was reselling swatches there.
Oh,
Went
yeah?
to the
Tell us
swatch
that.
shop, yeah, when so I landed and literally same day walked into the swatch shop and asked if they had any in demand. There wasn't even a special one, just any normal Omega swatch. Didn't have any. Went back the next day. It was like 10 or 11 a.m. I was speaking to someone. I was asking when they restock, and he was like, "Yeah, they get deliveries in the morning. Try around this time." So it was like 5 people in the queue or something. I'm freezing. Times Square, stood in shorts. It's like -5. Walk in the shop, managed to get 2, and I ring my mate. He's in the hotel room, and I'm like, "Oh, come down here. Just come and buy this. It's like $240 or something, and resell it for like £350." So we didn't end up selling them in New York, obviously. But we brought them home, and then same week sold them both. Like with £300 profit, I was like, nice, that recoup some money.
Free holiday.
Exactly, yeah.
Free
Yeah,
holiday.
man, knock some cash off the holiday. Think a lot of swatches are easier to get in the other countries, aren't they?
Yeah.
What is the Crep Moon swatches now? Like the original ones?
Yeah, so the
Not
original
massive
ones-
resale now, is there?
Nah, so the original ones are pretty much dead now, but they do like once a month, once every 2 months, they'll do like an Omega Moonshine, which is just, it's literally just a black Omega swatch,
Yeah.
but just with a different dial. So like one dial was like a gold hand dial with like floral kind of like engraved into it. But they're bringing out a new one, obviously become a CCN member to find out what it is, but they're bringing out a new one within the next month or two, which should be massive.
What is this one?
It's
We'll blow it out, we'll beep it out.
Yeah, it's a Snoopy one.
Oh, Snoopy
Snoopy
one.
one, Snoopy one.
Jeez.
Yeah, there we go.
That's going to churn.
Yeah.
I think TG actually reposted that on his story. He was loving it.
Yeah, it'll be insane. So obviously when that got announced, we spotted it. That's all ready to go. As soon as they announce when it is, get posted in CCN. In store.
I wonder what the reselling that's going to be.
Probably high. Or RRP should be about 250, 300.
Yeah.
But I think resale probably might even push $1,000. You know, it'll be stupid.
On a watch.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
On just
Nice
a
amount of
plastic
profit
watch,
that
yeah.
as well. 600, 500, 600 quid profit.
I mean,
More
we
maybe.
post how to get it as well, obviously, because the store's open at like 9 in the morning. So we do have people who go down at like midnight, camp out the night before, 50 quid on a chair and that, get some scran, little 60 quid, have a laugh with your mates.
Decent,
wake up.
yeah, decent day out with the boys as well, lad. You know, you're all chilling there. It's a bit of fucking banter in it. It's obviously a bit of a stale experience, but
long.
it's just, you know what? When you look back on like things like that, though, do you not think they're good times?
Best
Like, even if
memory.
you have a bit of a stale experience doing something, it still turns into good times.
Best memory.
Like, I remember when I first actually got started into reselling, like me and 2 of my friends who actually got me into reselling itself, like made me join CCN, they was like, right, breads, easy breads are dropping in size in Manchester, let's go down, let's queue up, we'll go there about 6 a.m. We got there at 6 a.m, massive queue, but we all met up like Mackey's before, so we like our Mackey's breakfast with us, and just chilling in the queue, freezing cold in like December time, I think it was. And yeah, I think I caught like 6 pairs that day, and I sold for like £100, £120 profit each.
From the same store?
Yeah, well, I think I won online raffles. So this is the thing, like I was actually getting results for raffles in the queue as well. So I was in the queue and they come up saying, "Oh, you've won this, well, decent." I, won another pair. And like, we'd all be in the queue like, "Oh yeah, I just won another pair as well." And like, all
Was
making
this
cash.
when they was reselling for like £400, £500?
Yeah, and then I think it was the first restock.
Was it the first?
Yeah, the
was it
first restock
Yeah.
like 2, maybe 3 years ago. But that was literally when I first got into reselling, and that's what kind of like when I look back into reselling, that's what I sort of picture
Yeah.
and I envision like.
Was it a restock of breads or was it the initial drop?
think it was a restock. I think it must have been.
It would have been the restock, because I think there's released some other pairs as well, stuff like that. But breads are like the ones to go for.
Yeah. So I've got another story about Yeezy breads as well, and I basically got scammed out of like £3,000. Basically, I was 16 at the time, and I'd been doing reselling for a little bit, and I'd resold a couple of Yeezys here, made a few £1,000, whatever, nothing major. And then I remember Yeezy breads came out, and I copped a load on the online release. But then they had an in-store size drop. It was like the restock after the initial raffle. It was like they was getting rid of the raffle purse. So anyway, I didn't really go down, because at the time I had to go to school, and it was on a Monday morning, so I had to go to school. I was in year 11, I had to go to school, and one of my other friend's brothers, he was in my year at school, my friend, his brother was into reselling as well, and I go to school in the morning, blah blah blah, whatever, and I roll up, and then my first lesson was PE. I roll up to PE, and I'm like, fucking hell, where's Sam? And then the lads look at me, and he's like, oh, have you not gone? Do you not know? He's gone getting some Yeezys or something with his brother. I was like, no! It's because each one resold for £500, and my mum and dad wouldn't let me go, because I did ask them whether I could go, and they was like, nah, you can't really go. So I was just gutted. When I found out he'd gone, I was absolutely fucking low-key. I was absolutely gutted. I was like, oh, and they all got, they ended up getting, another 5-6 pairs each, and that then would probably been, £2.5 grand, £3 profit. Scammed. Was
Yeezys was the first thing I ever resold. Back in the day, I remember it must have been, I just started college, so I was 16, nearly 17. And it was Butters. They came out, and it must have been around June time. I remember being in the queue, and I was like, oh my god, I'd woke up 5 in the morning just trying to get a pair to resell. £50 profit or something stupid at the time. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not going to have a chance here. 9 comes, 10 comes, and I've got all these tabs uploaded on my laptop, and I'm sat in bed eating my bacon butty watching TV, then it pops up getting past the splash page. I was like, oh my god. So I went in and managed to get a pair, and then I got another pair, got a second pair. And I was like, wow, that was the first thing I ever resold. Must have been 8 years ago now. And then,
I actually remember Butters. Me and the lads, we had a corrupt Foot Locker employee, and he was basically backdooring us Yeezy Butters. So he basically, how it worked at Foot Locker was, it was one per person, and he was obviously strict on it to the normal person. But we had already met the guy previously, and he'd agreed to give us any shoes that we wanted. So basically, he was just send me a big list of what sizes you want, and I'll just let you have them. So we basically just went down, cleaned out the entire stock. I actually went down with my brother because my parents was away. I've blagged my brother to drive me down there and his mates, and we literally all just went and cleaned out the entire stock. I think we ended up getting I think we actually got 250 pairs. Well, we can maybe pop the video up on screen of them all at Will's house. We got 250 pairs of Butters, but Butters he was only reselling for 30-40 quid profit for men's sizes. I think base size was 70-80 quid profit, but we ended up cleaning it out just because of this one corrupt Foot Locker employee. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually ended up losing his job over that, because it was just pretty nuts, and he proper went corrupt on us, but it was mad.
250 pairs, what's that? Probably 10, 12, maybe more K profit?
Yeah, it was mental, mate.
How old
Mental
were you
amount of money. I was I then? I couldn't drive, so maybe I was 16, 17. Wow. Will and that was obviously a bit older. That's why I had to get my brother to drive me down. And it took me convincing. I was like, please, bro. I was like, please take me. We can all make money. You'll make money, blah, 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 blah. And him and all his mates ended up, taking us down.
Well, what was the picture where, in the back of the GTR, the Mercedes GTR, and had, all of the Yeezys in the back boot?
They was fucking
Were they
Zions, mate.
Were they?
Oh, Zions. How did we get all them Zions?
Zions, don't get me started.
Is that when Yeezy just died down? Because I remember
that was
the first
worry, wasn't it, about Yeezys? Because, we all thought, go for these, absolutely amazing, never invest your life savings into Zions. And then on the actual drop, it was shit.
Can't remember how we got all them Zions. It was definitely something to do with the raffle bot back then.
It was JD.
Yeah.
It was JD. I think it was JD. I'm pretty sure. The
raffle.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Because JD raffle used to be the goat. Do you remember how insane it actually was?
Yeah, it was mad. JD raffle was fucking goated. I made so many people so much money off Kicks raffle bot. When people bought that, it was insane. And I think that's how we got them. But we had the grand idea. We was we had however many. I think we had 30-40 pairs of them. We was you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take every single pair of shoe out the box. Then we're gonna stick them in the boot of the Mercedes. We're gonna stick them in the boot of the AMG and get some content for CCN to promote it. So we took all the shoes out of the boxes, put them in the boot. Then it comes back, and then we fucking realised mate, none of these shoes are paired together now. We had to re-pair 40 pairs of shoes and put them all back in the boxes. It was a bloody nightmare, mate. It was the stalest job ever.
And as well, Yeezy boxes are not the easiest boxes to faff about with. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was fucking
Good memories, though.
stale, mate. Yeah, it was
Good memories.
It was a good memory. There's a video of me and Tom, like, we had like a massive like blanket, and we just got like 30, 40 pairs of the shoes just like loose in this blanket. And me and Tom are walking, and then like one of us like drops it, and they all just like pour out onto the floor.
What do you reckon though about the sneaker market? Like, do you reckon shoes are better back then compared to nowadays? Because when I think sneaker reselling back then, you had the Sean Weatherspoon 97s, which were an insane pair of shoes. You had all sorts.
Even off-whites, yeah.
But even nowadays, yeah, like off-white, the 10s. Nowadays, I think of shoes and I think, well, probably Travis Scott's, and that's about it. Oh, Angry Ginge, yeah, that's a good point. Angry Ginge wore the Lightning McQueen Crocs on the, was it Simon video, 20 verse 1?
It was, yeah.
20 verse 2 actually, wasn't it?
Yeah,
With
with
Danny
Danny
Aaron's,
Aaron's, yeah.
yeah. But them Crocs, viral. Couldn't get your hands on these, but I think, did they restock the other day?
Restocked the other day, yeah. They were sold out in literally less than a minute.
I'd say seconds, to be honest.
Were they?
Yeah,
That
seconds.
fast?
Yeah, literally, rapid.
Massa.
It was RRP 64.99 to buy, and you were looking at sales today, £140 for some of them, some sizes.
Shut up.
Yeah, for some Crocs, mate. Just some plastic.
But Lightning McQueen Crocs, they are pretty
Yeah.
groover. Also, we
Pretty
got another.
fast, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. I'm not running them. I've never run a pair of Crocs, so I don't actually know. But we have the Palace Crocs as well dropping pretty soon. They're dreadful. But looking at followers from Crocs, which is like 1.2 million Instagram, followers on Palace, which is like 900,000, I want to say. It's obviously going to sell out and it's obviously going to resell. Do you know what I mean?
Palace used to be a big reseller back in the day. First thing I ever resold was Palace shorts.
I
Told
never
the story
liked
to the
it.
stands. Not going to repeat it now. Everyone's sick of hearing it. 50 quid profit though. Cheers.
I never liked Palace. I always used to think of Palace as like a knockoff Supreme.
Do you ever play Assassin's Creed? Do you ever play Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Do you remember the logo, like the triangle logo? That's what the Palace logo. Do you know like the triangle when it was like loading on the OG Assassin's Creed?
No.
Like when you was getting like a fret meter, like it was like this weird like triangle, and that's kind of what like the Palace logo reminds me of.
Have you seen these Crocs that are releasing? They are dreadful, man.
Why was sort of them? Why are they so dreadful?
It's just a plain Croc with Palace on the back, the logo on either side, and then just like 3 little sticky things in the middle.
Fun fact, do you know what them little accessories are called that you put in your Crocs?
No idea.
Do you?
No.
Giblets.
Giblets.
Yeah. I don't want to get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's giblets. But yeah, for the Palace ones, there's like some Palace giblets and like some logos, and that's about it.
Do you reckon there's giblets that resell? After this call, you're gonna look at that lad. Obviously, there has to be.
Like some Louis Vuitton giblets.
There must be.
Well, like legit ones, like because
Yeah.
obviously you probably get like a lot of Alibaba ones and shit.
Yeah, you
innit?
can on TikTok shop. They're selling like a big pack of giblets.
Just
TikTok
load of
shop, mate.
giblets.
Dangerous.
What is a giblet? In it like a sausage?
Don't know.
I thought it was something to do with like chicken's neck or something.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure it is. I'm sure
Chicken
it's
balls.
Oh, I might have butchered it, but I'm pretty sure they are giblets. I don't know. I'm gonna get
I'm
butchered in the
sure a
comments.
giblet
now.
is the inside of like a chicken or something. I'm sure it is, lad.
Well, I'm pretty sure chicken's necks aren't reselling, but
Do you remember them mad ones that was like? You kind of look like they had like waves in them. They were like Celine, but I can't remember what they was called. Do you not remember them ones? They was
Crocs.
pretty fucking popping. I'm sure they was Crocs.
what are they called? Weird
It was
name.
like Celine.
Wasn't
but-
that I know what you mean. Like green or something like that.
Yeah, they was like green, white,
Yeah.
and the other like a tan one as well. I
Yeah.
think. They
Also,
was big resale.
more shoes.
What's that?
Uggs.
Oh,
Yeah. Just follow them.
baby.
Uggs. Not reselling so much nowadays, but during
every
like
Christmas though, innit?
yeah, it's like Christmas when people want to buy their partners like presents. You know, who wanted a pair of Crocs, not Crocs, Uggs at Christmas.
Yeah.
Like Tom bought them for his bird. I knew people, friends who wanted them.
They're hard to get your hands on. I tried to cop it in store, didn't have them. Stale, L, fat.
We all tried them, eh?
So
We're in
sad.
Trafford now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for
yeah.
the last 6 months of the year just gone, they were a thing. They were like started off with like the platform ones, then it went to like the UGG mini ones. There's so many different ones. Like £100 to buy, and some of them. I remember Tom at Christmas was looking to buy some for his bird. He'd look on some website like reselling. It was like £300. I was like, wow.
Oh, and the amount of DMs we got on Instagram saying, "Oh, do you guys obviously monitor
Yeah.
or like push like these Uggs because I want to get a pair? Not for myself, not for resale, for my partner."
Yeah.
I've seen a few people just join CCN purely to get a product for the one, like the Uggs that you mentioned,
Adele tickets.
Adele tickets.
Yeah.
We had a few of them this morning.
Happened massively on PlayStation 5s.
Yeah.
People bought them and they was like, oh, you know what, actually, I might just flip one.
Exactly.
And that's how they got into it. They kind of just got into it off the cuff because they just trying to get one. And then it's actually like, well, wait, I should just keep buying them and selling them now.
Plenty of benefits for it. I remember
Yeah.
my mum would be asking me for something, and I'm like, just so happens to be recent, you can't get it at the time, like an air fryer or something. Like, yeah, don't worry, give me a week, I'll have one.
Do you know what? Like, we all used to resell log burners back in lockdown,
Sure.
and I don't know why, but I left one in my shed. and I just left it there. I didn't resell it, and now it's set up in the house. So like, we got a log burner for free basically from profits. And also shout out to the CCN member. But there's a CCN member who joined to buy Disney Lacano, and now he's actually like a really experienced like reseller. Like he's going after quite a few drops, and I think he reached out the other day asking like how to scale up and like invest into bots. So he just joined to get collectibles for himself, and obviously realised, right, there's a lot of money to be made here. So let's get involved, let's get stuck in.
Obviously, we've got Adam and Lou as well in CCN, staff members, support staff, and they are heavily experienced with bots. They do all like the sneaker information, all stuff like that, but they're heavily involved in bots. Adam is a chef, Lou's a chef. They absolutely cook it out, don't they? I wonder what some of that. We should get them on the podcast,
We should do.
That'd be sick.
Sneaker specialist, because sneakers, people think sneaker reselling's pretty dead, but like realistically, like if you go about it right, you can make a lot of money. Like them guys, and they obviously know their stuff. Like every single drop, the right information, the right time. Sometimes absolutely bang on information, and they're really helpful. They're actually really helpful. Even like to us, like obviously we're experienced resellers, but sometimes we don't know the answer to questions, and they're just there when we need them. Yeah,
we've got a massive team of all people who are like, got varying different experiences in all different kinds of fields, which is obviously needed to like resell really well in it.
There's not a question we cannot answer, give or take.
About reselling.
Yeah, about reselling. About reselling.
I mean,
is COVID real?
It's real. We've got to beef out.
Jesus. But yeah, anything other than that? Like recently, last week or two, anything?
For January, it's been a pretty quiet one, but we still have people making 500, 600, 700 quid, if not more.
Yeah. January's always quiet, innit? Every single year.
Every year, but now it's just going to be uphill. I'm excited to see what brings this summer, because there's always something new.
Anything on the lookout at the minute? Anything in your sights?
There's nothing too much at the minute, but again, in the summer we've got the usual pools and that, but it just depends on the weather and that. But to be honest, right now we're just going to go with the flow, see what's happening. And I'm sure there'll be something reselling, something mad.
There's got to be something. You got to be something mad in them logs, mate.
Yes,
there's so many things in the logs.
People ask like what items you actually resell on CCN, like anything. Like we don't really limit ourselves, unless obviously like it's gambling or anything a bit off the rails. We won't touch it, but we push anything. Like
go on the logs there and have a look if there's anything decent.
Let's go through.
Have a look if there's anything decent. See what's like popping.
Because no one would be able to predict what we've actually resold. Like if you told us like 5 years ago you'd be reselling PlayStation portals, you'd be like,
I didn't know PlayStation portals were coming out.
Yeah, true, obviously, but like if you're gonna resell like a handheld device, you'd be like, yeah, why though?
Trying to think if there's anything else that's like
bizarre.
Got some more crocs here. Some Naruto crocs.
Naruto.
Yeah. What's Naruto?
Like an anime.
Doing okay.
I used to watch that when I was a kid.
You reckon they're going to pop?
There'll be a crop.
Yeah, a massive fan base for Naruto. It's like one of the biggest animes.
Because they're quite well designed, these as well. So I reckon they'll do well.
Not laser.
No?
Anything else? Come on. Keep having a scroll there.
I've seen some Tim's.
This is good, this.
Tim's are popping back up in fashion as well, aren't they?
Tell you what
are the latest?
Vinyls.
Vinyls been really
good. Oh,
yeah.
Any big vinyls?
This week, maybe Friday, we're expecting a little restock of a vinyl. £30 to buy, £80. About £40 profit.
What vinyl is it? Oh shit,
can't say that.
Yeah, I can't say that one.
Do you know what? We normally push vinyls to the pro members because vinyls are a weird one. Like there's not insanely massive sales every single day. There's not tens or 20s of sales every single day. It might be like 1, 2, and that is for more people who can sit on products who are more experienced, who aren't going to panic. Because when you start reselling, you do sort of think, right, I've had this product for a day, I'm panicking a bit, I'm going to lower the price and stuff like that. So with vinyls, you sort of need to be careful of the market. So we'll kind of push it to the pro members, which is for our like upper tier. Would you say? What would you say pro members?
I'd just say for people who are more experienced in reselling, obviously there's many benefits. First benefit is obviously you don't pay a monthly subscription anymore. You just pay as a one-time payment, and then you don't have to pay for CCN anymore. You get it for like unlimited access for forever, and
indefinitely.
You get like unlimited access. You're gonna get like you get obviously additional benefits. You get discounts to other like products in our ecosystem. You get exclusive flips. So like Alex just mentioned them with the vinyls. Some exclusive monitors. You get access to early features.
WatchBot
at the moment. That's just pro members in it. So that adds watches to your eBay listings to boost the ranking like naturally. That's something we've been testing. Obviously, granted, this is going to get released to the public to the rest of CCN at some point, but we've just been testing it with the pro members. You was on about that little thing today.
Yeah, so the little teaser for the pro members, well, it might be out now actually, but like we're going to introduce, we always get asked all the time about sneaker brick flips, which is like small profit flips you can make. So say for example, the Hip Store, which is like a sneaker store online, they release a shoe, goes in discount, you can use promotional code to get even further discount. You can sell it on eBay for £10, £20, whatever it may be. And we've actually got a feature we're adding today, maybe tomorrow, where it monitors these shoes when they go on discount and cross-references it to StockX, it cross-references to Go or Alias, we call it, and tells you ROI you can make.
Yeah.
So it'll constantly send you notifications when these reduce, what sizes restock. So you can buy these shoes, sell them for £10 one day, and they won't be like insanely frequent sales. Like some might be once a day, once every couple of days, but still profit there. You can extra make. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think going back to what you just said about just how random flips can be, Luke Littler.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Talk about
What a
that.
star, mate.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 weeks or 7 weeks, whatever, since he started the tournament in December, we've been reselling his darts. Paid £103 for him. I've been looking since December to try and get some, and then I managed to get a restock about 3 weeks ago on eBay, selling for £40 profit ago. And
Easy
sales are
money.
really good. It's insane. It just shows like out of nowhere, anything can just pop up. Like, you'd have thought a 16-year-old guy would make him money from reselling his darts.
Literally.
What's the retail on these darts? Because I can't believe when I seen it.
£103. It's just quite expensive. It's not
It's mad
cheap.
that for some darts.
Yeah.
We also got to think, mate. Obviously, a lot goes into darts, bit of engineering, aerodynamics, and that. They've been
Yeah,
in
but
the
surely
wind,
if you do it
they've been in the
once, you can
fucking
just-
wind tunnel, then, mate.
Yeah, but not every single dart's being engineered. It's just one copy and pasted.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but yeah, you can see why they're kind of selling for like good high quality. It's like golf clubs, isn't it? Golf club goes for fucking top whack.
Oh, we've resold golf clubs.
Oh yeah, what was that? Talk about that.
Again, I was on holiday last July, it must have been. It was, I can't remember that. Scotty Cameron's tailor-made driver it was, and a putter. So we posted them. They were quite high RRP, £600. But even then we were selling for £800. I remember I bought them lying in bed on like a morning on holiday, and then got home, it was there, and sold it on eBay. It was like easiest profit ever.
Even bikes. I just thought it was so
Rally choppers.
Yes.
Rally chopper.
What an insane flip.
I know, and we should have unboxed that bad boy. We could have had that in here now. That was a mad in the rally chopper. That was mad.
Yeah, I dropped it off that customer, didn't it? And
Yeah.
Liverpool. I can't remember how much.
I think there was only the profit in the end ended up being on the violet one. That wasn't that one like 200-300 quid profit.
Yeah.
And then the red one was like 150-200 pound profit.
But still though, free money, mate.
Yeah. 100%.
£950 to buy, selling it on Facebook like we did. £1,200, £1,100.
What?
Easy.
Yeah. What do you think about pre-orders? Like on eBay, like doing pre-orders.
I've got a love-hate relationship with pre-orders on eBay because it's a good idea, and obviously you're allowed to within 30 days or something. But I'd rather wait until they're in hand personally.
Can I just butt in?
Yeah.
So, and it is very controversial. You can ask certain resellers, and it's like, yep, ask certain. It's like, no, stay away from it.
Yeah.
Basically, the Pokemon Van Gogh promo cards, free money. You could have pre-sold these before they released for £300, £350.
Yeah.
When they dropped, they went down to £80.
Granted, this item was free though, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
card was
Yeah.
free.
This is a free item making, what, £300 if you sold it early. Now, if you waited, you're obviously going to make £8, which is still good
Yeah.
profit, but that's if you sold pre-orders, then you can make, what was it, 4 times the price?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
up to you, like, it depends what drop it is as well. Like, these promo cards were mass-produced, like, an insane amount of stock for these, so you can sort of think, right, if there's a lot of stock out there, and, you know, I'm in a cut group, chances of me copying one, pretty high, do you know what I mean? So you can sort of think and then maybe take the risk. Worst case scenario, you cancel it, issue with buyer's address, no negative feedback.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. But I'll quickly explain the Van Gogh, and then I think we'll end the podcast there. But basically, Pokemon released a Pokemon card that only came when you ordered an accessory to the Pokemon Van Gogh collection, which is like a tote bag, mat, stuff like that. Some of the items like £20, £40, whatever. But when you bought one of these items, you got one of these limited edition Pokemon promo cards, didn't you? It was a Pikachu, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A limited edition Pokemon Pikachu cards. So this item is, in essential, is free. So what you would do was you would buy a tote bag, for example. You would get your promo card with the tote bag. You would resell your tote bag on eBay, which at first we thought was only going to sell for retail. So you'd have got your money for your tote bag back. But they ended up reselling for like 20, 30 quid profit, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
But the promo card itself initially was reselling for £300. Then it went down to like £150. And then it settled at around £80, £90. But you basically got this free card and resold that for 80, 90 quid profit. And people was getting 10, 20, 30 cards.
Yeah.
And, you know, people making thousands from it. And it's just little jigs like that. Sometimes it's not necessarily the item you're buying. It's just, you know, things that come with the items, which I
Yeah.
thought was an insane thing. And people made, whoa, I reckon CCN might have made 500 grand plus on that drop.
Yeah, bro, definitely.
Like insane money.
Yeah, and that's been reserved as well. You could get these cards graded, and it would triple the value. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
bananas. You're getting a free card, you're grading it, reselling for £500.
Insane that,
It was
innit?
insane how they dropped it. It was horrible, but at the time, So you could place an order and it was like 2 items per basket. And in this Van Gogh collection, there was loads of different items. And as long as you'd added one of those items to your basket, you'd get a free card. So if you added like a bag, you get a free card. If you added like a box of cards, you get another free card. And then after that first restock, they changed it so it was only 1 per order. But that first time around, we absolutely rinsed it. We made thousands.
You could also say it was it was NFT money. Like it actually was.
Yeah, it was fucking free, wasn't it? But going just quickly on graded, what is how does grading your Pokemon card increase the value, and what is Pokemon card grading?
So with collectors, obviously they want the best, status of their card. So if your card is knackered, scratched, got bent corners, who's gonna buy that? I feel realistically. Yeah. Whereas if your card's perfect condition, the borders are aligned, there's no mess ups on the foil, the ink, nothing like that. It's a perfect 10 out of 10. They'll grade it a 10. And that's just, it's more for collectors. No one's going to use them cards to play games, you know what I mean? They're more for collectors.
But on that, so what happens? How do you get a card graded?
Different companies. The best company is it PSA? Would you say?
PSA, or there's another one, I can't remember the name, it's shut down, maybe. I'm not even going to, I'll butcher it.
The most reputable one is PSA because that's the one that everyone knows and is familiar with. They say, it's PSA 10 because that's that company that's graded it. You can get other ones where the grading cards look fancier, but obviously the grading's a bit more lenient.
But how does it work? So you pay PSA, I'm getting a fee.
I think it's a monthly fee, You
pay a monthly fee?
You can either pay a monthly fee or a one-time off. So there's different packages. There's if you want it within 7 days, it's $60 or something. And within 2 weeks, it's £30 per card.
Yeah.
So you go online, place your order, tell them what you're sending in, obviously send it in to them, pay the fee, then they'll get back to you in the time.
And then they send the card back to you in a plastic thing.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
Exactly you would have seen how Logan Paul boomed the Pokemon market because he had that £1 million Charizard card. Yeah. That was graded. Do you remember when he also got scammed as well?
Yeah.
That was crazy. I think he bought a box set that was meant to be some really, really rare. It might have been a fossil Pokemon collection. I can't remember what it was, but basically it was fake. It was
killer.
Fake. He opened it and he realized when he was unopening it was fake, and the guy who sold it to him was there.
Oh,
and he was calling the guy. He was pretending you've sold me his fake card to the guy he got it from, but obviously he must have realized it was fake. He must have realised it was fake, but yeah. And
when you get a card graded, to get a PSA, for example, let's say I've got a brand new Pokemon card, I've not touched it, blah, 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 blah. I then send that to PSA to get it graded. Is there a chance to get a PSA 10, is that a bit of a fluke that Pokemon have actually printed the card perfectly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so, because it's quite rare to get PSA 10. Most of the time it's an 8 or a 9. That's what we saw most of the time with the Van Gogh cards. It was most an 8 or a 9, but people were sending in 10 different cards and getting 2 free PSA 10s back, and I'm wow.
I'd love
the value.
I'd love to show you an actual card. You can't get a perfect print anyway. We don't have Pokemon cards in the office, but you can't get a perfect print anyway.
Really rare to get.
Yeah, it's really, really rare, and obviously the amount of cards they're printing, there's going to be defects on the cards, ink and stuff like that. So to get a 10 out of 10, I'd say is very uncommon.
But even some defects, mate, they resell. We had remember the celebration set. So this was 2021 maybe, and the end of the year, the celebration set. If you opened it, you got a promo card, and if it was misprinted or something, it was triple the price.
And the Lacana was meant to have a discard card in it for the factories to remove. Now some sets they were including the pack, so when you open these and you got discard cards, they'd resell for £120.
Mad.
Yeah, so you could get essentially a free card in a normal pack and make an extra £100.
Literally a black card that's a discard on it.
Yeah, nothing.
No
special.
Way, as if. That's insane, man.
I'm pretty sure you can get them graded as well.
You
should be able to get them graded, surely.
Nuts. That's so mad. That's a little Easter egg.
Yeah, but people have businesses run from grading cards and stuff and selling them.
Man, that's crazy.
There's a lot of money in Pokemon. People have full-fledged stores just from Pokemon cards, which is fair enough. Good for them.
Should we wrap it up there, boys?
Yeah. Do you want to do honors?
Yeah. So everyone, I forgot what the bloody camera was there. So everyone, thank you for watching this. If you're interested in learning how to resell, you want information on what items are reselling, you want to know about these Van Gogh drops when they're dropping, any of items like that, you want to get notified when PlayStation portals are restocking so you can resell them on eBay for a profit, then click the link below this video and basically become a member of Crep Chief Notify. We have an app and a Discord server. Both of these send notifications to your phone, basically saying this is coming out at this date, this time, you buy it, resell it for a profit, this is back in stock now, go buy it, this is reselling for a profit. We'll tell you about event tickets, all that stuff, and you can make 500 quid, £1,000, £2,000 profit every single month from doing it. Takes a few hours a week, but the link will be below to sign up to Crep Chief Notify, you can sign up on the app or the Discord server. Both give you the complete same access, and the app is just an easy way to get notifications to your phone about anything that's, you know, any important information that's coming out, you know, when things drop in, when things are back in stock, and what to buy and what to sell. But yeah, other than that, people, yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll see everyone next week. We're going to try to do these on a weekly basis, aren't we?
Yeah.
But we'll see everyone next week, hopefully, for more reselling chit chat. Hopefully some big drops in between, eh?
Yeah.
Happy days.
Happy days. See you guys soon.
We're done.